Hi everyone, my name is Alexia Dos Santos, and for our social media marketing project, I've come up with the Depop DIY campaign, which is a campaign for Depop, which is a clothing reselling app. And what Depop DIY does is encourages people to upcycle their clothes or reuse their clothes and create something new to reduce the textile waste that there is in the world. Okay, what is Depop? Depop is an app that you can resell your clothes on. So there's a lot of resellers on there who buy clothing and then they resell it on Depop. But then it's also for people who create things, like some people make keychains, things like that, and then they post it on Depop. You can post pretty much anything. You can post purses, shoes, shirts, jackets, all types of clothing. So it's really popular. And then you can also just I've done this before. You can just find things in your closet that you don't use anymore, and before you donate it, you post it on Depop to make a little bit of extra money. It's really, really popular with Gen Z and millennials right now just because of how easy it is to use. It's really easy. You just take a picture of your clothing and you put the description, put the hashtags, put the brand, and then put the price, and then you post it. It posts onto your profile, and it's really easy. Someone buys it, and then the money gets automatically deposited into your bank account once you link it up. So it's really, really easy, and I think that's why it really attracts Gen Z and millennials. Also because thrifting is really, really, really big right now. So Depop's main thing is to circulate fashion, and that's what they're doing. Is people don't want clothes anymore. Instead of donating it, you resell it. So it's just keeping fashion circular, which is really important. And so the need and benefit for Depop DIY, why I came up with the DIY portion of Depop is there's so much textile waste in the world right now. I mean, that's just a small picture, but 85% of textiles end up in the landfill, which is crazy to think about. And then all that clothing like fabrics and things like that, or clothes from Goodwill that weren't used or weren't bought pretty much, it goes to the landfill. And then that landfill just keeps overflowing and overflowing. And it ends up landing in rivers, ponds, streams, and stuff like that. And it sucks up all the water. So we're losing water, which is, which isn't good. So the need is where Depop DIY is trying to minimize how much clothing ends up in landfills. And social media is more popular than ever, which means there are influencers that are posting things, fast fashion, things that they found, and then everyone's starting to buy it. And then since it's a trend, they don't keep it for long periods of time, and then it ends up in Goodwill. So Depop DIY helps counter this by turning like an online store, the online store Depop, and promoting even more circular fashion, because the things that you have, instead of just, if nobody's buying it or something like that, you can upcycle it or just make something new, and then more people are more willing to buy it. Okay, so the solution is to upcycle your clothes. And why Depop DIY is really interesting and why it would help is it would create its own area in Depop, the app, because when you search up DIY or embroidered top or things like that, it's really, really hard to find specific DIY projects on Depop. It's mostly just clothes that are being resold and stuff like that. So Depop DIY would take things like this, things that people create. There's pants that are added some fabric, some embroidery, patchwork, and things like that. Just things that small creators are doing. These are from businesses, and Depop DIY would just help promote these and create an actual space in the app for them, and there would be a hashtag campaign and everything like that. So it's sustainable, and that's why I came up with it, because there needs to be a lot more sustainability, because there isn't a specific place that you can find DIY things as easily. There is Etsy, that's one of, I'll touch on that later, but Depop DIY would just encourage people to recycle clothes and upcycle clothes. And it's authentic. Everything's one of a kind because it's made by the users. So, and it helps promote small creators, which is really important because there's so many big brands and stuff like that, and I think it's important to support small creators too. And it's really easy for beginners. Okay, so the market strategy. So the opportunity is that it boosts creativity and personal style, and it reduces fabric waste and supports sustainability, like I've said, and It empowers young creators and beginning creators, like beginner creators who are making their clothes for the first time or things like that. It helps them be able to actually have a place to be found. And it focuses on Gen Z and millennials. That's like the target audience that we have. And then the marketing tools, we would use TikTok, Instagram, things like that. Anything user generated, it really focuses on UGC. It really focuses on people posting their before and after pictures, or influencers who bought something from a small creator that was made. They would put the hashtag DepopDIY, and you would be able to find it. People type in hashtag DepopDIY and you'd be able to find all the DIY things that someone has created. And then influencers, like I said, would post it and things like that, so it's more visible and helps keep everything going. All right. Okay, so the price guide. So the price, it's honestly, it's not like a specific item where you can just list and it's going to be a certain price. Everybody's going to be creating different things, so it depends how much time is put into it and things like that. But to use Depop is completely free, whether you're using it to sell things or to buy it. If you sell something and then there's a way to boost it so it reaches more people, which you wouldn't have to do for Depop DIY, because there would be a specific section in the DIY section, so then you can actually see all the DIY creations. So it's completely free to use Depop, and there's an 8% fee if you want to boost, but even then that's a couple of dollars. And then if you're buying something, it's completely free too. You have to pay for shipping and things like that. But like I said, it's budget friendly, it's affordable and sustainable. Depop DIY offers a solution for people who want to shop sustainably without having to pay for big brand names and things like that. And you're helping support small creators. And then for if you're creating something, if you're an artsy person, you just have to buy the fabric. But even then, you can just find something. Let's say this shirt, you can add a fabric onto that you have from another shirt. Does that make sense? So you don't have to buy a bunch of things. Okay, so the market competition. The competition specifically, there's consumerism, Etsy, and then Poshmark. So consumerism we see it all around. It's the constant push for new trends, wanting to participate in new trends, and buying new things that you see the influencer post or something like that. You have so much information coming in from TikTok, Instagram, so many different forms of social media. And then even just at the mall walking, you just see everything, and things are bought and then put in the thrift store and things like that. So that's our main competition. And then Etsy. Etsy is a marketplace online, a lot similar to Depop, except it only focuses on creators who are making things, like artsy people creating things. So it's very, very much focused on only that. It's only things made by other people, handmade. So I guess that would be the most main competition, just because Depop DIY it's focusing on creators making handmade things as well. But the thing with Etsy is that it's for experienced creators and brands. It's well-known brands and things like that. And it's really, really hard to be found on Etsy. That from what I've learned, I have friends who do that. But on Depop, when you just search up hashtag Depop DIY, or you search up DIY on Depop, it'll specifically take you to the Depop DIY section, where everyone, as long as you posted with the hashtag or you posted hashtag DIY, it would show you all that stuff. So it would be a lot easier to get your stuff out there. And then Poshmark is another clothing reselling app. It's almost exactly like Depop, except with Poshmark, it focuses on reselling secondhand items and doesn't focus on DIY things or anything like that. It's mostly just brand names and stuff. Okay, and then the conclusion is pretty much just Depop DIY focuses on people to upcycle clothes, especially small creators who are artsy and things like that, to create new clothing instead of just throwing it out. Or you can even cut things up. It gives people ideas on how to create and make new clothing. And it really focuses on the sustainability portion, just so that we can keep our earth as clean as possible, reduce textile waste. And Depop DIY would help Depop gain more traction. It already has so much traction, but I think it would gain even more traction when it sees how much they're promoting DIY things and DIY sellers. Because their mission is to keep fashion circular. So something like this Depop DIY where they have a specific section in the app and a specific hashtag that they can use for DIY creators, creating your own thing. I think it would benefit the Depop incredibly. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.